Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of 12-Year-Old Reacts here on my channel. And this is exciting because we're going to be listening to something that I have not fully explored myself yet. You've already seen the title of this video, so you know what's to come. And I will say I know what this song is. I have watched a few other channels react to this, but I myself have never sat and listened to the entire song. I know kind of what's special about this and why it's become such a big deal, and I understand why, and it kind of makes me roll my eyes a little bit because I've been listening to music that's kind of been like this for many years. However, this will be the first time I'm sitting and actually listening to this band. So, Hunter, this is going to be a very different thing because this is, I believe, a live in-studio performance. So this is going to be a band who is in the studio, and like they went into a studio and they have everything set up. There's no crowd, so there's no mic, no noise or anything like that. All the mics are set up really good, and then they recorded a live performance, and then it was edited after the fact to sound as good as possible, but it's still them performing live, I think. Okay? So this is a band I know nothing about. This is just a huge song that was on a lot of the reaction channels last year. It created a big deal, and I've had people request on my channel that I do some reactions to some of their songs / albums. And I thought that you might get a kick out of this too. This is a band that's called JINJER, and it's spelled JINJER, I think, Ginger, which is not how you spell ginger like the spice.
Yeah.
You know, ginger is with a G. But this is JINJER with a J. And this band, the only thing I know about them is that they are from the Ukraine, which is obviously the country right now that Russia is trying to invade, right? So Ukraine's had a lot of bad luck. Mm-hmm. And this band is, from what I understand, one of the biggest bands ever, I think, maybe now, from the Ukraine. I myself listen to music from all over Europe and all over the world, and I have never heard of any other bands from the Ukraine. So this is going to be a band from the Ukraine, and this is an in-studio performance, and that's pretty much all I know about this.
Okay.
I will say it's a lady singer.
Okay.
I know you don't necessarily care about that, but we'll just see. But again, remember, it's live, so you have to kind of keep that into consideration. It's not going to be all perfect and everything, at least I don't think. And this song is called Pisces. And let's just go ahead and get into this, and we'll just see what you think. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, they are a metal band.
Okay.
Or at least they're a heavy band from what I know, but they're kind of like a prog band as well. So the cool thing about this is that you can see everyone performing exactly what you're hearing. Hear like a cool little organ in there. They may have done some overdubs after the fact, after they played the song. So what'd you think of that?
What? Huh?
What'd you think of that?
What happened?
It's just her singing. Changing styles a little bit.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay.
Yeah?
it's like you're starting at the first chapter of a Harry Potter book, and then you're going to the last chapter of a Harry Potter book.
Right, just with and skipping everything in between.
Well, or the penultimate, because the last chapter is like
Right. Usually it's the okay, everything's done now. I know what you mean.
the penultimate one.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did you like that?
I guess.
It's jarring, right? It's
weird.
like okay. So I believe they will do that again in the song. So now you know that it's coming and you can listen to it a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
Did you like the change in the music as well? Because obviously it's probably hard to focus on anything other than her just like death screaming at you. But like there, if you'll notice the bass player, and the guitar player too, they're playing higher up on the neck and it sounds very pretty. And then this is a band is very djenty, and djent is a style of metal where they have sort of like usually an extra string on their guitar. Most guitars have 6 strings. I have some guitars off to the side here. Most guitars have 6 strings, but some guitars have a 7th string on them, and usually that's referred to as kind of a baritone guitar. And one of the strings is detuned down basically to sort of like what more of like a bass string would sound like, and then basically that means you can do lower sounding guitar chords and stuff. And so things can feel chunkier and darker and thicker and heavier kind of. And so they're doing that kind of stuff. And the bass player, you'll notice he has his like hand up here, and he's like tapping with his fingers to change the notes. That's a very progressive rock, progressive metal sort of like technique, what he's doing. And what that's doing, like I said, is that's allowing him to play sort of like pretty sounding higher frequency stuff. And then he can use the same guitar and just hit a pedal, or his bass and hit a pedal, and then go to like the super chunky, heavy stuff. So it's very technical what they're doing. So, all right, you ready to keep going?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you think.
No promises I ever give. Don't rely on me and I won't deceive. The beginning or the end you can't tell. When I wave my fin and shake my tail, I grew and different normality with unblameable morality. Hooks and nets are there for me, but I'm skittish.
I do not believe I've heard any of the rest of this.
Okay.
Neptune.
Doesn't your voice have to hurt? Like,
We'll talk about that when this is over, okay?
Inside drowns in the liquid gold.
The musicianship is very good here. Every one of them, even the drummer is phenomenal.
Make me flash and when the winter cries.
Whoa. Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's it. So they did not go to a chorus a second time, or a third time, basically. All right.
Whoa. That was cool.
Yeah?
I wonder what to give that rating of. It's like
Let's talk about it for a little bit first. Okay, so first your question about would her voice hurt? So when you hear metal where people are screaming in it, if they're doing it correctly, no, doesn't hurt their voices at all. Because there's right ways to do it and there's wrong ways to do it. And some people's voices are way better and more naturally attuned to it, but anybody can learn how to do it. Like, I have a really difficult time when I try to do like harsh screaming vocals ever. You know, it doesn't work very well for me, but I've never watched any videos or like tried out any specific techniques. I just try to do it the way that I feel I can do it, which is probably not a healthy way to do it. You know, if I took classes and tried to learn and do it the right way, I could probably do it much better and it wouldn't hurt me as much, because sometimes when I've tried to record harsh vocals, I'll work on it for like a couple hours in a row and then I just can't talk for like the rest of the day. And I know for a fact in the past I have hurt my vocal cords really badly, and my vocal cords weren't the same for like months afterwards. Now, luckily, I'm not in like a band or anything, and no one relies on me to be able to ever sing, you know? So, I would say, based on that, what I was hearing, and this is my first time really analyzing that, definitely there were some vocal overdubs in there, which means that either, I'm guessing what happened was they recorded that song all the way through, and then they maybe did another pass where she did a couple of things to fit on top of it. But it was very minimalistic. I only heard it during the screaming parts.
Yeah.
And it was only very rarely like at the ends of phrases. And it was done very well, so like I don't begrudge that at all. I do think there might have been some overdubs, some editing, some different things. It could have been editing from different tracks as well, you know, because they could have gone into the studio and performed that song 5 times as good as they thought they could, but maybe the guitar player, for example, thinks that his part from the third part of the song was better on the 4th take, so they can take the 4th take and like mix that in together. You'd have to take everything that was playing at the 4th take, but like that's all possible. It's possible to stitch a song together like that. And then what they did was they just went in and they recorded themselves doing the video once, and then they tried to do it the same as they could each time. That would be a very common way to do something like this. But yeah, I think it still sounds phenomenal. The quality of everything we were hearing basically sounded like an album. You know, it sounded like an album. Now, I've never heard, that's the only version of that song I've ever heard. I've never heard the actual album version of that song. So I would be curious to hear that. I think they would be a band I could look into in the future, because some people have said that they have some really, really, really good albums. So okay, with that in mind, what did you think of the singer's look? I mean, I know you really don't care about that, but did you notice her nose ring?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
And, I mean, not really.
I kind of was like, man, I don't know.
Didn't she have a tongue ring, too?
I didn't notice that. I noticed she had a nose ring, and it was kind of distracting to me.
She
And
had a tongue ring.
She
Not
also-
a tongue ring, but like a thing
a
on
lip
her-
ring
No,
on her tongue.
something on her tongue.
Could be a tongue ring for sure.
It wasn't her tongue ring, but like
Or like a tongue piercing.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I would just call that a tongue ring, whether it's a ring or not, but a tongue piercing, yeah. She also had gauges in her ears, which is the little holes they put in your ears, and then they put a slightly bigger hole, slightly bigger hole, slightly bigger thing in there to make the holes bigger. And they weren't very enormous, but I don't ever think that that's very cool. The rest of the guys looked just like stereotypical metal dudes. I mean, she looked like a stereotypical metal lady, I guess. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that song was really cool. I wasn't expecting it to be as like prog metal as it was. So that actually got me really excited to hear some more of their songs. If they have some like really long songs, because that song was a little longer, I think we paused in the middle. But that song, if they have like longer songs that have more elements to them rather than just guitar, bass, drums, vocals, I would be really interested in hearing more of their stuff. So yeah, how would you rate that?
7.
A 7?
I couldn't. I don't know. I'd say 7.
Okay. Are you fighting with yourself over whether to be higher or lower? I mean, you came down on 7, and that's fine.
I don't think it should be higher than 7, but it should not be 6.
Right. It was entertaining, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you liked it, and it was funny to see your reaction the first time. So, okay. I'm glad you liked it. All right. Do you have any final thoughts on this?
No.
Would you want to listen to more of them?
Maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Probably not, though?
Probably. No.
Probably not.
I don't know. Who
Okay.
knows?
All right. Well, this is their song Pisces. So if you want to look it up or whatever, I don't know. Which Pisces is like the fish. Mm-hmm. And it's also like an astronomical sign or something like that. I don't know that much about it. But okay. Oh, one thing I was like, could you understand what she was saying when she was screaming at
No.
all?
Was
Okay,
it
I was
in
curious.
like the?
No, she was singing in English.
Oh, I thought she was singing whatever language I speak in Ukraine.
Oh, in Ukrainian? No, it was all in English. The whole song was in English. So,
Okay.
yep. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. Let us know if you have anything that you would like us to try out in this vein. I will definitely say that the next video I want to record with Hunter, which we're going to do right after this, is going to be some flyleaf, which is very, very different than this. But that's something we have coming up. We've done lots of Metallica on my channel. Go check out any of the Metallica videos. I myself have been reacting to Metallica since the beginning of the year with a couple of my buddies. We have many very long videos going through and reacting to each of Metallica's albums, so I highly recommend those if you are a metal fan, a heavy music fan, and if this was your first video on my channel, go check that out. I've also showed Hunter a few other things, including No Doubt earlier today, which he didn't care for that much, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin, Skillet. We did a couple Metallica songs earlier. We did Lux Eterna right before this, and we've done a bunch of things at this point. And so, yeah, we're having fun doing this. I enjoy doing this. Whenever you come visit from now on, we'll probably film a couple more of these. All right, well, thank you very much. And don't forget to join us
Next time.
next time. Exactly.